I'm going to give you an overview here on how to read a research article. So you'll see I picked out this research article. In a moment you'll see it is 5 pages long, and the title of this article is right here, Changes in Body Weight and Fat Mass of Men and Women in the First Year of College, a Study of the Freshman 15. So the first thing I'm going to look at right here is the abstract, and you see I've got a little bit of information here. So the abstract is the summary of an article. It's going to tell you about the purpose, the methodology, in other words, how do they do the study, and what the major finding is. So when you're looking at research articles, reading that short abstract can get you a lot of bang for your buck. Within this abstract, you'll see what the research question is. This is what the researchers were trying to find out. You can see in this case, it says the objective of this study was to measure changes in body weight and percent body fat among first-year college students. So that research question should be spelled out in the abstract. As I scroll down here, if you look down at the bottom here, it'll tell you the publication date. So you can see this article is published in 2006 and who published it. Going to then go on to the next page. So once I read through the abstract, I'm going to jump ahead to the next page of the article and pay attention to the methodology, sometimes called methods. So this is going to tell me about how did they do this investigation. So how did they answer the question? Some terminology here. Sometimes it's referred to as subjects or sample. This is the population who participates in or who is observed in the study. So you'll see in this case the sample consisted of 67 freshmen who volunteered to participate. So when you're trying to get a brief idea about what a study was about, looking at this methodology section is going to be really important for finding out what did the researchers actually do to gather their data. The term measurements here refers to how the researchers quantified the data, so that's going to be looking at how did they measure the data they were looking at. I'm going to jump ahead here to look at the results. So the results are where the researchers are going to tell you what they found out, what they discovered after completing their study. So in this case, you'll see they talk about the results in terms of physical characteristics here. So in this case, the subjects were not on average overweight, both male and female, mostly white. And so they'll give you some things that they discovered because of what they looked at there. I'm going to jump ahead to the next page. To this section that's marked discussion. So this discussion is the place where the researchers talk about their findings and interpret their meaning. In other words, they're going to tell us why what they found out in this study is important, talk about perhaps some other factors, other things that you might want to look at. You can see up here some charts that are going to give us some more information about the results. For our purposes in this assignment, this is not really terribly important. I might just highlight a couple terms. Here you can see the term variable. This is a set of attributes that the study is looking at. SD here refers to standard deviation. M stands for mean or the average. And sometimes you'll see the letter N used here. This tells us how many subjects there were, so how many people participated. That information might be helpful for understanding some of the results. Jumping ahead, we can go to the limitations section. The limitations are where the researchers are going to talk about factors that may have influenced the research, that may have been changed, something that if that weren't a factor, it would make the research stronger. So giving a brief look at the limitations will give you an idea about the areas where this research wasn't as strong. And jumping ahead here, this article talks about implications. This is the so what part of the research. So why is this important? How is this useful in the broader world? And then of course at the back of any article will be the references. This is articles, publications, studies, anything that was cited in this article. This is the great resource for finding additional information about this topic. So when you're reading a research article and you want to get just a feel for what it is, just to highlight again, the abstract is going to be your best friend. The methods or methodology is going to be really valuable. And then the results as well, so to tell you what did they actually find out from this. And a smart consumer of research will pay attention to those key pieces And then if they need to look more in detail, more in depth at the research, they can go back and look at some of the other pieces as well.